We got to talk Super Bowl. The Rams in Cincinnati. Are you surprised by who's in it? Is that who you would have picked?
I am absolutely surprised that Joe Burrow beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, I would say. I'm happy for him, man. I love the kid at LSU, the story about him having a transfer and all that. But I loved all the stuff, his closeness to his family. He seems like a very nice guy, and he brings a lot of color on a quieter. I mean, he's not as braggadocious and wide open. If I was that kid at 25, I'd be, I don't know.
Well, he's starting to get there a little bit. He's cut a few promos.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, he's just starting to feel himself. But boy, if he wins, I mean, that I like that. I think it's good to have someone that handsome and single, and got that what do you call it? That flair.
No, I agree. I'm a big Joe Burrow fan as well.
Oh, me too.
And I actually compare him on a lesser level to when Mario Lemieux came to play for the Penguins, because he totally elevated the franchise.
Yes.
Joe Burrow has taken a nondescript team, and Nate, I mean a nondescript team for decades and decades, and elevated them in a short time and made them not only a Super Bowl participant, but a team, and he's a player that people talk about.
Exactly. How that offensive line is going to block
Aaron Donald,
Aaron and Von Miller, I have no idea, because that's what killed Tampa. But
yeah,
if they and that offensive line and let the Titans sack Joe 9 times, so I will be amazed if they do it. But nothing that Jamar Chase kid is unreal. Mixon's playing great. I mean, they have. Who's to say that they don't have a good chance?
Who's a better quarterback right now, Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes.
I still got to give him the edge, but I thought his hubris got the best of him, and really got the best of the Chiefs in that game against Cincinnati. They should never have passed up that field goal at the end of the first half, let alone thrown a pass to Tyreek Hill that was short of the goal line. They should have taken a shot at the end zone.
Yeah.
And
well, I was amazed, to be honest with you. The Bengals pass rush came out of nowhere. They put a lot of pressure on that kid.
Yep.
Which I never saw coming.
And also, I didn't like.
I only give Mahomes has got so. The kid can do anything. So I'm not saying he's a better pure passer than Joe Burrow, but when you can move around like that and evade tacklers and drop back 20 yards and still get back in line of scrimmage, you're pretty special.
No question. And again, just sometimes you need to play scoring situation, though. The other thing he did I didn't like was at the end of regulation, when he tried to keep that play alive and took, I think it was a 17-yard sack.
Yeah.
And really made Butker head.
He's not always going to make it back. You're right.
Right. So, but again, I think Mahomes will learn from this. But I think Joe Burrow is going to be they're going to be rivals in that conference. Nate, it wouldn't shock me if they played in the conference championship game for the next several years.
Hey, I got news for you. The Kansas City Chiefs need to start drafting some offensive linemen.
Yep.
Because I never saw that pass rush getting to him like that. And that was the difference in the game.
Now, you mentioned LA's defense, and you mentioned Aaron Donald, who's a Pittsburgh kid, and Von Miller.
Yeah,
and Jalen.
Both guys I've met are very nice.
Great guys. And Jalen Ramsey holds him down in the back at cornerback. But LA's offense can control the ball. That was one thing that kind of got lost in the NFC Championship game, was that LA had the ball for 35 minutes. Mm-hmm. How much do you trust Matthew Stafford to do the same thing and win a Super Bowl?
Well, personally, I'd like to see Stafford win a Super Bowl, because the kid, anybody that has to play with Detroit for the whole, I mean, even if you look at his stats and think about, he's got some really good stats for being with the Lions for 10 years. I mean, really, the Lions, from when I grew up, the Lions with Alex Karras and all those guys were much more, one of the biggest games of the year every year was the Lions and the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. And that game just went to hell over the years because Detroit was so bad. And when Matt Millen was the GM, I don't know what he did there, but God. So I'm happy to see Stafford finally have an opportunity to prove just how good he is. At the same time, I am happy for Joe Burrow. I really don't have a dog in that. I can't say I have a favorite. I feel like I know Von Miller, and well, I've been around a couple of times, and Aaron Donald, who I spent a couple hours with, enough to say that I respect them both, obviously, as players and as people. So Yeah, I just want it to be a great game like everybody else.
Yeah, I think it will be too. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo got San Francisco to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. He got them to the conference championship this year. Now they're going to dump him and start Trey Lance, who they picked second overall this year. I don't like it, but I get it. I mean, if you pick the kid second, you got to, make your investment come good. But I feel kind of bad for Garoppolo.
Where's Garoppolo going?
Don't know yet. Don't know. There's some talk he may come to Pittsburgh.
Really? Well,
Yep.
he's a good quarterback.
I think so too. He's a winner. He figures out how to win. His record as the Niners starter, Nate.
Hey, he's a handsome single guy. I'm not sure Pittsburgh's fast enough for him.
I can tell you for a fact it is not. But he was like 36-16 as their starter. I
know.
felt kind of bad for him, but that's a gutsy move by San Francisco.
I feel sorry for Trey Lance.
Why do you say that?
Because big shoes to fill.
Yeah, tough act to follow. You're right. What about your guy Harbaugh? I almost forgot to mention this. It looked like he was going to go coach Minnesota, the Vikings, but now he's going to stay at Michigan.
I have not talked to him, but I was going to congratulate him because I think the worst possible place you could be right now is a coach in the NFL.
Why do you say that?
Because of the horrifying scrutiny that's going on, and just there always seems to be a dispute. And I think it's a great job to have, but I mean, I don't. Who knows? I don't want to get into that.
Well, Tom Brady quit.
I'm just glad he's staying with Michigan. However, I would love to have seen him in the pros, but I think he probably took a look at what's going on. I don't see him moving his family all the way to Las Vegas. I don't see him moving his family to Minnesota. The weather is very similar to Michigan, but his family, Jim doesn't need the money. So he's doing it out of love, and I think he feels like that Michigan can be right back in the Big Ten hunt again.
Tom Brady retired, and he's obviously the best quarterback of all time. I don't want to debate that because that sounds stupid. Who's number 2?
Of all time?
Yep.
Well, personally, I like Terry Bradshaw. I like Dan Marino. I like Elway. If Rodgers wins another Super Bowl or 2, it'll be Rodgers. It'll be the second best.
Yeah, he's not going to. You couldn't melt that guy down and pour him into a big game.
Yeah.
That's his weakness.
I happen to like Aaron Rodgers.
I don't.
Yeah, you have to go back. I mean, Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl way with a hell of a quarterback.
Well, it's funny you mention that because I might pick Dan Marino, even though he's never won a Super Bowl. And people always use that as evidence that he shouldn't be as highly ranked as he is. But I think he's just brilliant. In terms of a guy as a pure passer of the ball, I've never seen anybody better.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
And this is where I kind of go funny. He was plagued by injuries.
Correct. In particular, his knees.
No, I haven't introduced the subject yet. He was plagued by injuries, but if you walked into a room and there were 10 guys signed autographs, and Brady was there, and all these other guys, and Joe Namath was there, where would you go?
Joe Namath. That's easy.
To me, he's the greatest.
Well, I love Joe Namath.
No, plagued by injuries. Can you imagine if his knees?
Oh, for sure.
He's Mickey Mantle. He had an arm. He was clever. He drew money. He drew money.
He drew women, too.
He drew, well, we love that. But if you're good, let me tell you, Tom Brady, I know he's married to a supermodel, but if that Tom Brady's not the handsomest son of a bitch alive, I don't know who it is. No, really. I'm in Tapia. I got to run into him one night. I was going to say, brother, you are the man.
Well, Joe Namath was the man, and a Pittsburgh guy, Beaver
Absolutely.
Falls, just outside
Beaver Falls.
Pittsburgh. And a great guy, Nate, a frequent guest on my show. Great guy.
Oh, is he really?
Absolutely.
Well, tell them to call him when I'm on.
I will do.
I've been on with him twice. What a great guy.
Well, here's what's weird about Aaron Rodgers.
We'll invite Susie Kobler.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Now.
I just want to kiss you, darling.
I got to mention Aaron Rodgers again, though, because even though, like, I think he's a crackpot and he doesn't win big games, but there's no denying his credentials. I mean, what a great quarterback.
Crackpot. He's one of the greatest of all time. Why do you call him a crackpot?
The stuff he says, I don't like it. But
Because he speaks the truth?
he speaks his truth, put it that way.
Okay.
But anyway,
hey, that's better than a lot of people you and I deal with every day.
Now you're talking. I agree with that.
Thank you.
But I think
speaking the truth. If it's in his heart and it's real, it's better than what you and I deal with 90% of the time.
Amen. That I give you. But here's and I do respect him as a quarterback, and he's done a lot. Here's the weird part, though. He's going to win MVP this year, almost certainly for the 4th time.
Yeah.
How does he win 4 MVPs and Tom Brady wins 3? I mean, to me, that's not a knock on Rodgers. That's got to be a flaw in whatever system.
He's getting through 45 touchdowns and had 3 interceptions.
Yeah, but it's most valuable. It's Tom Brady. I mean, who's more valuable than Tom Brady?
Well, you can't say that right now because Tom Brady, they didn't win the Super Bowl again. At some point in time, Mark, you got to go on stats. I mean,
yeah.
I never thought Gretzky was the best hockey player, but you couldn't beat his numbers.
Oh, Lemieux was the best hockey player.
Well, yeah, and before that was Bobby Hull. But nobody had Gretzky numbers.
True, no question.
I didn't think Gordie Howe was anywhere near Mario Lemieux or Bobby Orr. But Gordie Howe had all the records.
Let me ask you this, though. When you look at the award.
Talk hockey, talk meat.
When you look at these awards, is it most valuable or is it player of the year? Because there's a difference.
Or most kiss ass. See, what Rodgers doesn't do is kiss anybody's ass. And you have to respect that.
I don't think Brady does either.
He doesn't have to. Brady doesn't kiss anybody's ass. They're lucky to know him.
Have you ever been to a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Which ones?
Oh, just in Miami. What year was that? I was at the one in Atlanta, and I went to the one in Houston with we were 25 points up with the Falcons.
There's no bigger spectacle than a Super Bowl, is there?
WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's a good call. Those are really two of a kind, aren't they?
WrestleMania is equally as big. Worldwide, absolutely.
You really think so? What, worldwide, yeah. You're right. Worldwide, because the Super Bowl isn't that big a deal outside of the U.S. It really is.
It's not. Nobody gives a shit about football in Saudi Arabia. Wrestling, come on, please.
Well, you know it's bigger than either, don't you?
But they go what, soccer?
Soccer, that's right.
Okay.
I think the best thing you've ever said to me, and I'm sorry it wasn't on the show. It was when we were off the air. The best thing you've ever said to me is go back to your soccer. I got shit to do.
Yeah. Go back to your soccer. I got shit to do.
That's right.
When Tiger's playing, I watched golf. I would rather watch, I love girls soccer. Like, I would rather watch grass grow than hear that humming sound at the World Cup. What is that noise they make? What is that noise?
That's that horn, that vuvuzela.
I know. They can have that horn.
By the way,